A little more insight on this. Bring in Molly Hooper, Capitol Hill reporter for The Hill. Molly, nice to see you.
Thank you. Nice to see you.
All right. So what do you make of this recount effort? Is this a Jill Stein vanity project, or is she simply a shill for the Clintons?
Well, there have been reports out there, and we've known about the fake news that's going on. However, there are people who are saying that Hillary Clinton is secretly behind this. I'm not sure if that's necessarily the case, but she is raising, Jill Stein is raising a lot of money for this recount effort from Democrats.
Yeah, this money is not coming from the Green Party fringe.
No, it's not. And the thing is that she even says on her website, full disclosure, that not all this money will necessarily go towards a recount because the recount has to be accepted by the states and whatnot. I think that this just goes to show that the Democrats are leaderless at this point. You look at what's going on right now in Louisiana. There is a Senate race that they could be sending their money to the Democratic, candidate in that race, but instead they're giving money to a recount effort in which Jill Stein came out on Twitter and basically lambasted Hillary Clinton for getting involved with.
Is there a risk to the Democrats here that at a time when clearly the country has said, at least in one way or another, we're rejecting the stronger together message from before, the Democrats are clearly in disarray, and now they go down this recount route. If they fail, which every expert seems to think that they will, because you'd have to get a recount and overturn the results in Wisconsin, in Pennsylvania, and in Michigan together, there's going to be a pretty loud thud when this thing hits the ground. Well,
I really don't know how big that thud is going to be, given the fact that this truly seems to be a Jill Stein effort. I mean, if you look at the Hillary Clinton folks who've come out on Medium, these posts that they're doing on Medium, Brian Fallon essentially said, yes, we're going to have a lawyer present just to make sure everything's going okay, but even we acknowledge that overcoming even the smallest of deficit, which is in Michigan, is going to be nearly impossible.
Well, but they're still showing up.
But they are still showing up.
They're still showing up. Meantime, we have the Trumps moving headlong into this transition, which for reporters covering it is unlike anything we've ever seen. It used to be that when you covered a transition, you had to hear the whisper campaigns, and maybe you got a little snippet from some source who was on the outside, and all the people who are possible candidates for each job are going, I will serve the president-elect no matter how. And then from the insiders, we get something like this from Kellyanne Conway.
A number of people who feel betrayed to think that Governor Romney would get the most prominent cabinet post after he went so far out of his way to hurt Donald Trump. There was the Never Trump movement, and then there was Mitt Romney.
And this isn't isolated. We had Newt Gingrich on this morning also talking about Mitt Romney really pulling out the knives. This is not hidden. This is stab you not in the back, but right in the front.
Well, it definitely is unusual. And that's one thing that we can learn from the Trump campaign is that there's no such thing as normal these days in politics, especially politics that are successful. If you look at Donald Trump. That said, Kellyanne Conway has a loyalty, I would think, to Newt as of, she was involved in his campaign in 2012. There are a lot of people upset within the Republican Party. Those people who feel like they stepped away from Donald Trump. You do have the loyalists who stuck out their necks to support him in the race, and those who did not and did the opposite, like a Mitt Romney. However, Mike Pence is also key in this transition team, and Mike Pence behind the scenes would like probably a Mitt Romney more so than a Rudy Giuliani, because keep in mind, this individual has to get through the Senate.
Right. Well, you also have to wonder in a case, especially when you're watching this play out on cable television, how much people are arguing really for the best interest of the candidate or the best interest of themselves. So motives are always suspect in that case. Molly Hooper from The Hill, appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
There's a lot to cover. Thank you, ma'am.
Absolutely.